Okay, let's start by looking at the very basics of flamenco guitar for everybody. And this is everything I say is applied to the flamenco guitar. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the way we sit first. So the way traditionally we sit is in fact by holding the guitar, this is what we call the aro, which is this part of the guitar here, into your hip. So what we do is we have our feet flat on the ground, our back straight. So for example, if you're working all day or if you're sitting all day or at a computer or whatever, we want to make sure your back is as good as possible. So we're going to sit like this, and this is the traditional way. So we put the part of the curve of the guitar in our hip, and there's roughly a 40-45 degree angle between your chest and the guitar, so it's pointing outwards. We can actually hold it with our left hand, so you see my arm is coming down. So we hold it with our left hand, and then we bring our relaxed shoulder over the guitar. So we've got this kind of posture, which is really actually quite good for your back. Now, the good thing about this is that you can, and this is, as I say, it's the traditional way, but the good thing about this is that you can sit traditionally for hours on end, for all night, doing whatever you're going to do. You're going to do all your party all night long, and it's a good way to sit, but all your practice in this case. So that's a really good way to sit, and it means that also your hand is nice and relaxed, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's a good position to sit for, say, if you're practicing for an hour, at least a day, I hope, then at least for 10-15 minutes you can sit like this, and then we're going to now adopt another position that I'll show you that you can change to, because I don't want you to sit in one particular position all the time. I want you to move and change, and preferably even have a seat like mine where you can move your hips, because otherwise you'll end up having aches in your legs, your back, your hips and everything. So that's the first position, the traditional way. Now, the way that, for example, that revolutionized everything was Paco de Lucia, or Paco de Lucia, some people call him Paco de Lucia, but it's Paco de Lucia, or Paco de Lucia if you're from Andalusia. The way he sat and revolutionized the flamenco guitar is by putting the right leg over the left leg, like this. Now, this is a really cool position. So what we do is we put this part of the guitar, the curve here, into our hip again, and we have a kind of 45 degree angle here, and that means that our left hand is nicely positioned and relaxed to be able to reach the fretboard, and the right hand again and the right arm is just kind of chilled and relaxed over here. So this position is really great for playing. But the problem with this is that after a short while, I mean, I used to use this a lot, and then after many years you start to get aches. So what I do now is I try to represent this, but in a way that makes me more comfortable, because I don't want to have problems with my hip here and in my back. It lifts up your back and eventually your shoulder. And many guitarists, not just classical or jazz or any other for that matter, or pop, complain of problems with their back and their necks and all the rest. Is because of the way we sit. So it's very important for us too, for flamenco guitarists, to make sure that we sit properly and comfortably. So the first one was great, as I said, because that's nice and comfortable with your back and legs. But to achieve this comfort that I say is to use a footstool. So you can buy any old footstool on Amazon or wherever, I don't know, and there are other reputable shops, I'm sure. So you have a footstool, and you replicate the position I did with, instead of crossing my leg, I put my leg on the footstool. You can adjust it, and that allows me to have the guitar again at 45 degrees, my left arm nice and relaxed, and my right arm nice and chilled as well. And even though it kind of, it does lift you a little bit, but you are a lot more comfortable than you would be if with the leg crossed over. So those are the basic ways of sitting for flamenco. There are other ways, of course, like in the classical, where you do the opposite, where you put on your left leg. Again, it's not one that I use because I've just been, I'm used to doing other ways, but that's a more classical way. Then there's some guitarists who just actually sit like this without crossing your leg at all. But for me, and mostly generally, it's either this comfortable position like this, or, as I say, cross over your leg, or if not, just with the footstool, just like this. Okay, so those are the basic positions where that we sit in. I mean, I know with all of my students and all my and myself occasionally too, is that occasionally we can sit at the desk, we kind of, and that's fine. I want you to enjoy your guitar and I want you to enjoy your playing, but I say about these things that I'm telling you and teaching you, I want you to do when you're doing discipline practice. So you do all the things disciplined for an hour, and then once you've hopefully enjoyed your discipline practice, then you can sit back and chill a bit and get defend round, play guitar, whatever. But for your discipline practice, please keep the posture because it will change how you play and how you approach the flamenco.